On this video, we'll discuss deeply the Renaissance and its achievements. The Renaissance meaning rebirth of classical culture. The Renaissance was a series of literary and cultural movements in the 14th, 15th and 16th centuries. Some important events that contributed to the development of Renaissance ideas include the discovery of a new world in 1492 and the innovation of printing presses by Johannes Gutenberg around 1440. The Renaissance movement began in Italy and eventually expanded into Germany, France, England, and other parts of Europe. The Renaissance marked the transition between medieval and modern Western Europe. The Renaissance began in Italy in 1400 AD. Factors for the emergence of Renaissance in Italy are the following. 1. The strategic location of Italy is on the Mediterranean Sea. As trade between Asia and Europe increased, the cities of Italy emerged as centers of banking, commerce, and handicrafts. Genoa, Pisa, and Venice became important centers of Mediterranean trade. Italy was as home to the popes. Rome collected revenues from throughout Europe. The city-states of Milan, Florence, Siena grew wealthy from banking, farming, and making goods. Italian city-states also flourished because no single ruler as in France. Italian city-states had united the peninsula and crushed their independence. በዚህ ገጽ የህዳሴ ወይንም የስነ ጽሑፍና የስነ ጥበብ ዳግም ልደትን በተመለከተ በጥልቀት እንማራለን። ህዳሴ የሚለው ቃል የሚገልጸው በአውሮፓውያን ታሪክ የጥንቱ የባህል ጥበብ ዳግም ልደትን ነው። ህዳሴ ወይንም የስነ ጽሑፍና ጥበብ ዳግም ልደት በ14ኛው በ15ኛውና በ16ኛው መቶ ክፍለ ዘመን ሳያቋርጥ የተካሄደ የስነ ጽሑፍና የባህል ስልጣኔ እንቅስቃሴ ነበር። ይህ እንቅስቃሴ መጀመሪያ የተጀመረው በጣሊያን ሲሆን ቀስ በቀስ ወደ ጀርመን፣ ፈረንሳይ፣ እንግሊዝና ሌሎች የአውሮፓ ክፍላት የተዛመተ ወይንም የተስፋፋ ነበር። ህዳሴ ወይንም የስነ ጽሑፍና ጥበብ ዳግም ልደት የተጀመረው በጣሊያን ነበር። ጣሊያን በ1400ዎቹ የህዳሴ ወይንም የስነ ጽሑፍና ጥበብ ዳግም ልደት መጀመሪያ የሆነችባቸው ምክንያቶች የሚከተሉት ናቸው። አንደኛ፣ የጣሊያን ስነ ምህዳራዊ አቀማመጥ በሜዲትራኒያን ባህር ላይ ነው። በአውሮፓና በኤዥያ አህጉራት መካከል ላይ ንግድ እያደገ ሲመጣ የጣሊያን ከተሞች የባንኮች፣ የንግድ ድርጅቶችና የጥበብ ማዕከላት እየሆኑ መጥተዋል። ጊዮና፣ ፒሳና ቬኒስ የሜዲትራኒያን ባህር ንግድ ዋነኛዎቹ ማዕከል ለመሆን ችለዋል። ጣሊያን የጳጳሳት የአስተዳደር መቀመጫ እስከሆነች ድረስ ከመላው አውሮፓ ግብርን ትሰበስብ ነበር። ሚላን፣ ፍሎረንስና ሴና በባንኮች በግብርናና ዕቃን በመስራት እየካበቱ መጥተዋል። በዚህም የጣሊያን የከተማ ግዛቶች እያደጉ መጥተዋል። The second reason, Italy was the centers of classic civilization. Scholars were as impressed by the remains of ancient civilization as the achievements of pre-Christian artists and thinkers. Like the ancient Greeks, Renaissance thinkers believed in the word of human reason to explain the world. They looked at man as the focus of all things. During this time, humanities placed great emphasis on the dignity, worth, and uniqueness of each person. ሁለተኛው ምክንያት እንደሚከተለው ነው። ጣሊያን የጥንቱ ስልጣኔ ማዕከል ነች። የጣሊያን ምሁራን በወቅቱ በጣሊያን በሚገኘው የጥንቱ ስልጣኔ አሻራ ወይንም ቅሪት እንደ ክርስቲያን እምነት በፊት በነበሩ አርቲስቶችና የሐሳብ አራማጆች ስራ ይመሰጡ ነበር። ልክ እንደ ጥንት ግሪካውያን የህዳሴው ዘመን የሐሳብ አራማጆች የዚህን ዓለም አጠቃላይ ሁኔታ ለመግለጽ በሰዎች ምክንያታዊ ሐሳብ እይታዎች ያምናሉ። ሐሳባቸው ሁሉ ሰውን ማዕከል ያደረገ ወይንም በሰዎች ላይ ያነጣጠረ ነበር። እነዚህ ለሰዎች የቆሙ የሐሳብ አራማጆች ለእያንዳንዱ ግለሰብ ክብር፣ ጥቅምና የተለየ ፍጡርነት ትልቅ አጽንኦ ይሰጡ ነበር። The third factor or reason, during Renaissance, wealthy Italian merchants and nobles acted as patrons, supporting artists, writers, and scholars. Secularism increased as people began to show a great interest in this world than in the life after death. Secularism is a political and philosophical doctrine that separates religion and the state and protects the civil rights of the people. During the Renaissance, people used observation and experience to explain the world rather than simply relying on traditional church teachings. ሶስተኛው ምክንያት ደግሞ እንደሚከተለው ነው። በህዳሴው ዘመን የጣሊያን የንግድ ሥራ አንቀሳቃሾችና መኳንንቶች ለአርቲስቶች፣ ለጻፊዎችና ምሁራን ደጋፊ ሆነው ይታዩ ነበር። ሰዎች ለሚኖሩበት ዓለም ትልቅ ግምት እንዲሰጡ የሚያደርግ የህዳሴው ዘመን አስተሳሰብ በትልቁ እየታየ መጥቶ ነበር። የህዳሴው ዘመን ሰዎች ይህን ዓለም ለመግለጽ ከቤተ ክርስቲያን አስተምሮ የሐሳብ እይታዎች ይልቅ የእነሱን ምልከታና እውቀት ተጠቅመዋል። ሬኔሳንስ አርቲስትስ፣ አርክቴክትስ፣ ስኮላርስ፣ ራይተርስ ኤንድ ሳይንቲስትስ created a legacy of achievement that still influences us today. First, let us discuss the architect impacts of the Renaissance, mainly on painting and sculpture. Before the Renaissance, art in Italy was greatly influenced by Byzantine styles.
Byzantine art is almost entirely concerned with religious expression.
Religious paintings were highly decorative, often with gold and jewels, but they appeared flat and lifelike. Figures often floated in space without shadows.
In painting, shadows are an important element that can add depth, perspective, and form to an image.
The size of the figures was based on its importance, not where it was placed in the picture. In the 1300s, the painter Giotto lived from 1267 up to 1337. Giotto had already astonished Italians by painting in the entirely new style, using scenes with figures in not lifelike space. Giotto's figures were given depth by realistic shading and showed emotions and gestures. During the Renaissance, each generation of Italian artists made improvement to make their paintings more realistic. During this time, their challenge on painting was to show three-dimensional space on a two-dimensional surface. Masaccio and other artists also introduced shadows and other realistic effects. Masaccio lived 1401 up to 1428 AD. የህዳሴው ዘመን የጥበበኞች የጸሐፊዎችና ሳይንቲስቶች የሥራ ውጤት በዚህ ዘመን ራሱ ታላቅ ተጽዕኖ እያሳረፉ ይገኛሉ። ከዚህ ቀጥሎ የህዳሴው ዘመን ጥበበኞችን የስዕልና የቅርጻ ቅርጽ ሥራ እንመለከት። ከህዳሴው ዘመን በፊት የጣሊያን ጥበብ የቢዛንታይን የሃይማኖታዊ የጥበብ ስነ ዘዴ ተጽዕኖ በእጅጉ ያረፈበት ነበር። በወቅቱ ሃይማኖታዊ ጥበቦች በወርቅና በከበሩ ድንጋዮች የሚሰሩ በእጅጉ ያጌጡ ግን በጠፍጣፋ ቅርጽ ላይ የሚሰሩ ናቸው። በስዕል ጥበብ ውስጥ ሻዶ የአንድን ስዕል ትክክለኛነት፣ ጥልቀትና ሁኔታ ሊያስረዳ የሚችል መሰረታዊ ነገር ነው። በ1300ዎቹ በጣሊያናዊ ሰዓሊ ጊቶ ከ1267 እስከ 1337 የኖረ ነው። ይህ ሰዓሊ የተለየ የስዕል አሳሳል ስነ ዘዴ ጥበብን ያመጣ ነው። ጊቶ ስዕሎቹን ትክክለኛ ሁኔታን፣ ስሜትና አኳኋንን እንዲገልጹ አድርጎ ስሏል። በጣሊያን በህዳሴው ዘመን እያንዳንዱ ትውልድ በስዕል አሳሳል ጥበብ የስዕሎችን ትክክለኛነት እንዲገልጹ እያደረጉ እየሳሉ የመጡ ናቸው።
በዚህ ወቅት የሰዓሊዎች ዋነኛ ተግዳሮት በሁለት ውርድ ስፋት ባለው ቁስ ምህዳር ላይ እንዴት አድርገው ባለ 3 ውርድ ስፋት ስዕል እንደሚስሉ ነበር።
ሜሴሾ ትክክለኛነት ሊያስረዱ የሚችሉ የስዕል የአሳሳል ሁነቶችን መጠቀምን ያመጣ ነው። Italian painting reached its peak during the High Renaissance with the paintings of Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Raphael. In history, the High Renaissance was a short period of the most exceptional artistic production in Italian states. Leonardo da Vinci, who lived from 1452 up to 1519, was a sculptor and inventor as well as the painters of such works as the beautiful women of Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. The Last Supper painting represents the scenes of Last Supper of Jesus with the 12 apostles. Da Vinci discovered how to use shadows and blurred lines, especially on the eyes and mouth, to make his subjects appear incredibly lifelike. Da Vinci also had one of the best scientific minds of his time, that he dissected human corpses in order to understand human anatomy. His notebooks includes designs for a parachute and machine gun. Michelangelo, who lived from 1475 up to 1564 AD, was a Florentine artist.
His major sculptors, such as David, Moses, and Peter, were start line in relation, just like the paintings of the time.
Each sculpture was carved from a single slab of marble.
His giant mural painting of Bible scenes on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in Rome is considered one of the greatest works of art of all time. Michelangelo's sculpture and paintings equally glorified the human form.
Raphael also painted a number of beautiful pictures. The Sistine Madonna is one of his great work. በጣሊያን የአሳሳል ጥበብ ከፍተኛ ደረጃ ላይ የደረሰው በህዳሴው የከፍታ ዘመን በሊዮናርዶ ዳቪንሲ፣ በሚካኤል አንጀሎና በራፋኤል ነበር። ዳቪንሲ ከ1452 እስከ 1519 የኖረ ሲሆን የቀረጻ የስዕልና የፈጠራ ችሎታ ያለውና የሞናሊዛና የላሱፐር ስራዎችን የሰራ ነው። ዳቪንሲ በአፍና በአይን አካባቢ ላይ ትክክለኛነት ሊያስረዱ የሚችሉ የአሳሳል ስነ ጥበብን የፈጠረ ነው። የሰውን በድና አካል በመሰነጣጠቅ የሰውነት ክፍሎችን ለመረዳት ባደረገው ሳይንሳዊ ምርምር በሱ ዘመን የተሻለ የሳይንሳዊ ዕውቀት የነበረው እንደሆነ ለመረዳት ተችሏል። በሱ የማስታወሻ ደብተር ላይ የፓራሹት መውረጃ ጥላን ጨምሮ የጠመንጃን ቅርጽ የያዘ የጥበብ ስራ ተገኝቷል። ሚካኤል አንጀሎ ከ1475 እስከ 1564 የኖረ የፍሎረንስ ጥበበኛ ነው። ከሱ የቅርጻ ቅርጽ ስራዎች ውስጥ የአዳም የሙሴና የትክክለኛ ሃይማኖተኛን የሚያሳዩ ቅርጻ ቅርጾች በትክክል እንዲያስረዱ አድርጎ የቀረጸ ነው። በሮም ሲስቲን ቻምፕል ላይ የመጽሐፍ ቅዱስን ሁነቶች ሊያስረዳ የሚችል የግድግዳ ጣሪያ ላይ ስዕል በመሳል የዘመኑ የምንጊዜም ታላቅ ስራን የሰራ ነው። ሬኔሳንስ አርኪቴክትስ studied the ruins of buildings from ancient Rome to develop a new Renaissance style. They abandoned the pointed arcs and ornamentation of the medieval ages. They used the columns and circular arcs of ancient architecture for a similar classical style. In early Renaissance Florence, citizens built a large cathedral but did not know how to complete its giant roof. They held a competition among architects. Filippo Brunelleschi, who had studied Roman buildings, was chosen as the winner. He developed a dome that created an immense interior space. At the time, the cathedral in Florence was the largest church in the world. These accomplishments in art demonstrate the Renaissance fashion with this world rather than the next, as well as the technical achievements possible from the application of reason. የህዳሴው ዘመን የህንጻ ጠበብቶች አዲስ የህዳሴው ዘመን የህንጻ ጥበብ ዘዴን ለማምጣት የጥንት የሮማን የህንጻ ጥበብ ስራን አጥንተዋል። በህዳሴው ዘመን የመካከለኛው ዘመን ሹል ቅስጥ የማስዋቢያ ስነ ዘዴን ትተውታል። ይሁን እንጂ የአምድና የክብ ቅስጥ ከጥንቱ የህንጻ ጥበብ ስራ ጋር ይመሳሰላል። በህዳሴው የመጀመሪያ ዘመን አካባቢ የፍሎረንስ ዜጎች ካቴድራልን የሰሩ ሲሆን በጣሪያው አካባቢ ላይ ግን በምን አይነት ሁኔታ መጨረስ እንዳለባቸው አላወቁም ነበር። በህንጻ ጠበብቶች መካከል ላይ ውድድርን ያደርጉ ነበር። የሮምን የግንባታ ጥበብ ያጠናው ፊሊፖ ብሩኔልስቺ አሸናፊም ሆኖ ተመርጦ ነበር። ይህ የህንጻ ጥበብተኛ በውስጡ ክፍተት ያለውን ከፍ ያለ ጉልላት የፈጠረም ነበር። በወቅቱ የፍሎረንስ ካቴድራል በዓለማችን ትልቁ ቤተክርስቲያን ነበር። ይህም የህዳሴው ዘመን የፋሽን ጥበብ ማሳያም ነበር። The period of Renaissance had remarkable impacts on intellectual life, such as learning and literature. Renaissance humanists studied classic Roman and Greek literature, such as poetry and philosophy. The Italian scholar Petrarch, also known as the father of humanists, collected and studied ancient texts. New methods of criticizing texts led some like Erasmus. Erasmus ridiculed church abuses. Other Renaissance authors wrote on secular or non-religious subjects. Renaissance writers described the dignity of man, celebrated the pleasure of saints, and instructed nobles in how to behave at a prince's court. Many writers like Boccaccio wrote in vernacular or local languages instead of Latin. As Renaissance spread, writers such as
Rabelais in France,
William Shakespeare in England, and Cervantes in Spain collected works in their own native languages. የህዳሴው ዘመን በትምህርትና በስነ ጽሑፍ የራሱ የሆነ ተጽዕኖ ያሳረፈ ነበር። በህዳሴው ዘመን የጥንቱ የሮምና የግሪክ ግጥምና ስነ ጽሑፍም ተጠንቷል። የጣሊያኑ ምሁር ፔትሬች ለሰዎች ተቆርቋሪዎች አባት በመባል ይታወቃል። ፔትሬች የጥንት ጽሑፎችን በመሰብሰብ ጥናት ያደረገ ነው። ቦካሾን ጨምሮ በርካታ ጸሐፊዎች ከላቲን ቋንቋ ይልቅ የየአካባቢያቸውን ቋንቋ በመጠቀም ጽፈዋል። የህዳሴው ዘመን ስልጣኔ እያደገ ሲመጣ
ሬቤሌዝ በፈረንሳይ፣
በእንግሊዝ ዊሊያም ሼክስፒር እንዲሁም በስፔን ሴርቫንቴስ የእነሱን የየአካባቢያቸውን ቋንቋ በመጠቀም ጽሑፋቸውን ጽፈዋል። The Renaissance spirit of inquiry also led to important discoveries in science. The church taught that the earth was the center of the universe. Nicholas Copernicus, who lived from 1473 up to 1453 AD, a Polish scientist took careful measurements that led him to conclude that the earth orbited the sun. Galileo Galilei, who lived from 1564 up to 1642, a famous Italian scientist, laid the foundation for modern physics. His observations with one of the first telescopes strengthened his beliefs in Copernicus theory. የህዳሴው ዘመን በሳይንስም ዋና ዋና ግኝቶችን ይዞ የመጣ ነው። ለምሳሌ ቤተ ክርስቲያን መሬት የህዋ ማዕከል ነች ብላ ስታስተምር የኖረች ነች። ግን ኒኮላስ ኮፐርኒከስ በጥንቃቄ ጥናቶችን በማድረግ መሬት በፀሐይ ዙሪያ እንደምትዞር አጋልጧል። ጋሊሎ ጋሊሊ ታዋቂ የሚላን ሳይንቲስት ነው። ይህ ሳይንቲስት የዘመናዊ ፊዚክስ ምስረታ ላይ ቀዳሚ ነው። ጆን ጉቴንበርግ developed a printing press with movable type in Germany around 1450 AD. Gutenberg created individual letters of metal which were held together in a frame. The invention of movable type, along with the use of a special press and oil-based inks, allowed the mass production of printed books for the first time. This encouraged the spread of new ideas. More and more people also began to learn and read. ጆን ጉተንበርግ በ1450 አካባቢ ተንቀሳቃሽ አይነት የህትመት መሳሪያን ፈጥሯል። እንደዚህ አይነት የህትመት መሳሪያ ፈጠራዎች በወቅቱ መጽሐፍት በገፍ እንዲታተሙ አድርገዋል። በዚህም ህዝቡ ማንበብና መማርን ጀምሯል። The Renaissance also had far-reaching political impacts. For example, Niccolò Machiavelli was a courtier and politician in the city-states of Florence. His book, The Prince, was a guidebook in how to secure and maintain political power. Machiavelli argued that the most successful rulers were not those who acted according to laws or conscience, but those who were willing to do whatever was necessary to hold power. The wealth of the Italian city-states, the weakening of the church, and the reasoning of writers like Machiavelli contributed to the Renaissance concept of reason of state. Rulers justified taking whatever measures they need to strengthen their state in order to survive. They collected taxes and raised armies, often by hiring professional soldiers. They also exchanged ambassadors, creating modern diplomacy. Rulers in large states like France soon copied these practices. No less was the contribution that this period made in economic life. People strove to improve their material conditions while the wealthy accumulated more luxury goods. This encouraged an increase in trade, a great variety of trades, especially clothes, foods, wine, and furnishings, and the growth of cities.